Welcome to Flash News Now. Here are today's top 12 stories. Ukraine attacks key Russian grain terminal on Black Sea port. Ukraine has damaged Russia's grain export terminals in an attack on the Novorossiysk port. In a first, U.S. will allow some private firms to carry out cyberattacks. The new order sweeps away decades of existing U.S. cybersecurity policy prohibiting private companies from conducting hackback attacks or offensive cyber operations. Yemeni forces say Houthi attack repelled in Taiz amid escalation. Military escalation continues for days after the Yemeni government announced it is attacking Houthi positions. Iran says Trump lied about U.S. control over Strait of Hormuz. Iran called President Donald Trump's claim that Washington controlled the Strait of Hormuz lies and fabrications on Thursday, as Ebrahim Zulfiqari, the spokesperson for Iran's Central Military Command, said that the waterway was fully under Tehran's control. Iran has kept control of Hormuz, a vital energy conduit, since the outbreak of the war in the Middle East on February 28. Lebanese Americans sue U.S. over Israel's rights abuses in Lebanon war. Michigan-based group leads class action lawsuit against U.S. government and defense contractors over Lebanon war abuses. Putin visits disputed Kuril Islands. An analysis of this story reveals layers that go beyond the headline. The timing, the key players involved, and the broader environment all contribute to making this a significant event in world news. The coming period will test current assumptions. The announcement, which came through official channels, has been described as a game-changer by some and business as usual by others. Digging deeper into the details reveals several layers that casual observers might miss. The nuances matter here. Small differences in implementation could lead to very different outcomes. Historical context provides useful perspective. Falling Danube flow forces shutdown of Romania's sole nuclear plant. Romania had tried to avert a total shutdown of the plant, which usually generates a fifth of the country's electricity. U.S.-Iran talks in deadlock. What's the latest? The U.S. and Iran continue their standoff in the Strait of Hormuz as mediators try to coax talks. Israel trucks out Gaza's rubble to hide genocide and redraw the map. Israel carts away Gaza's rubble to destroy war crimes evidence and make the landscape unlivable, rights groups say. Civilian deaths in Ukraine in July hit highest level since May 2022. UN. At least 437 civilians were killed and 2,610 injured in Ukraine in July, the UN Human Rights Monitoring Mission said. UK defends seizing Shadow Fleet tanker after Putin threat. The UK government says it is disrupting and deterring Shadow Fleet vessels in accordance with the law. U.S. ambassador to Israel slams settler siege against West Bank Palestinians as terror. Huckabee, an evangelical Christian pastor who in the past has embraced Israeli settlements in the occupied West Bank, said the Israeli army intervened on Wednesday after a U.S. request, but the soldiers failed to remove the settlers. That was your Flash News Now bulletin. Subscribe for more.